fighting at a gym 01 from Portsmouth, Ozzy Jatta.
Welcome back to the Sam and Fadel podcast. I'm Fadel.
And I'm Sam and Love. And today we are welcomed by the champ, Ozzy Jatta.
Round of applause for Ricardo. Ozzy, how's it feel?
I guess you feel, yeah.
Yeah?
Good week of eating, but yeah, nah.
Yeah, crazy. And in the build-up to obviously capturing the flyweight championship, like how did it feel? Do you know?
Like as in the camp before.
Yeah, the whole camp before.
Yeah, it's a weird one because I think me and Adam were initially supposed to fight, like I want to say back before COVID, just started. So I probably sort of like seen him about, like knew he was like the level he was at as well. So this has been not a stressful camp, but one of the ones where at the end of the camp, you know, like I went for like a tough fight, one of the toughest fights for my career. So yeah, it was a hard camp, yeah, but it was definitely a good one as well.
Of course, and it was, would you say it was brilliant, you know? Like everything leading up to this moment.
Yeah, because he fought a guy called Gary Rooney for the title, the Shokuno in March.
Yeah.
The show in March. So and I watched that fight as well after my fight. So when I saw that, I seen how it went, like, they're my way, they've got the titles, like, you want a title for yourself as well, you know what I'm saying? So, like, whoever won that fight, Gary won the fight at the time, but he turned over to four now. So I always assumed that at some point in the future, like, me and Adam were going to fight.
Okay.
At some sort of point.
Okay, so you knew it, yeah.
Yeah.
So it all kind of made sense how it's all
Yeah,
played.
well, I don't think it was actually for the title in the first place. We were butcher just fight, a normal fight. But I think when Gary turned over professionally, like, it sort of made sense where, like, he was at a good enough level and I'm at a good enough level where it's like a fight worthy for amateur title, if that makes sense. So just turned over and said,
Yeah. But I'll be the first one, of course. I was there on the night when you did capture it, so was Sam, and it was
crazy.
It was a great night. Literally, Ozzy actually killed a man in the octagon, guys. Yeah, he actually put him to sleep.
We'll put the video up for sure, 100%. But there's so many questions that I want to ask about the fight, but just rewinding back, I'm curious because obviously Fadel's trained with you, he knows you very well.
Yeah.
It'd be great to just understand the journey or what that looks like and just like sort of rewinding back up until this point. What have you had to do to get to this point, and how did you start firstly in getting involved into MMA?
Yeah, so I was, to be fair, I didn't even start initially with MMA. I started boxing, I want to say when I was maybe 16. That's the summer of year 10 going into year 11, that's when I started. But like, before that, I was never like a sporty kid really at all. Like I was
Ozzy's terrible at football.
Yeah, so any other sport I'm still used to, I'll be honest. Yeah.
I don't think he's good at it.
But no, it was one of them ones where like I just go to school, come home, play Xbox, and then just win some free. I was never like intrigued or like interested in sport. Like I play it at school like socially just because all my boys are playing it, like enjoying it.
Involved, yeah.
Man, I was never good at football, so I was like, I'm not gonna go play football outside of school, you know what I'm saying? So I think I got to like some of year 10 before that, like Biff, one of my boys called Biff had we went to his house like two pairs of boxing gloves. I was just like, let's just have a quick little fight, see what it is, yeah. That was my first like ever like exposure to boxing or anything like actually doing it myself. And I thought, like this is pretty fun, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing I actually found like I picked up like quickly. All of the sports I play, I was like, this way for me.
Well, it felt natural to
you? Yeah, it felt natural, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Yeah, so that was when I like, okay, let me just see what it was. I was getting trouble as well, so I thought I need to actually use what I thought. So that's when I went to Hart Portsmouth, one of the local boxing gyms there. I started boxing there. I only boxed like a season, I want to say. I think, one season, maybe 1 season and a half. And I had 4 fights there. I lost most of them, to be fair. But that was my first like, ever exposure to sort of combat sports, yeah. I did enjoy it a lot, even though I lost, but yeah, that's my first exposure, yeah.
Makes sense, yeah. But to be fair, I've been obviously when I was training for my charity boxing. Boxing went to Hart Portsmouth, but I had to shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
It's how I'm charity boxing.
I'm the what I know.
Quick announcement, December the 16th, I'm back. Well,
you fight again?
Yeah.
Right, okay. Same one as...
Yeah, same one.
But sorry,
it's not bad.
Yeah, sorry, I digress. But yeah, no, because I'm obviously, I was going in the gym to train for the fight. Yeah. But I saw pictures of you with medals and stuff, so it's not just about you losing. You obviously
of course.
You played it down. You obviously won a few.
Only one to be fair, but I think it's one of them was where like boxing always felt very. Like, even now, I think I've done MMA for like 4 or 3 times as long as it used to be boxing, but I still always feel like boxing is more natural to me. And I even still feel like I'm a better boxer than I am an MMA fighter, which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know like the psychology behind it or whatever, but I just picked up a lot quicker and I understand it more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think naturally, you're very good boxer. Because obviously, I've trained with you
Yeah.
for a while. You know what I mean? And I feel as though you get boxing a lot.
Yeah,
Just straight away.
I honestly don't know what it is. I've done MMA like a fair bit longer now, and for a lot more intense as well. Like even when I was boxing for a year, I was in school, so I was like training like twice a week maybe, like Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
I sparred Sundays occasionally because I was a junior still as well, so it wasn't like I was always there. So it's like I've done MMA a lot longer than I used to do boxing, but I'll always still understand boxing more. Which is just weird to
And that transition, so how did you go from boxing, obviously started with boxing, then into MMA?
So I think after I lost my last, I went to the junior development championships. I lost my first one, so I didn't get any like far into it all. So that was like a very big, like dissuaded me a lot from boxing. Like, okay, maybe I'm not as good as I thought. Like as good as my coaches all like telling me I was like, you're good, you can go far. But like if I'm not winning, for me it's like I didn't believe it at the time. You know what I'm saying? So because like college, first year college, I just stopped boxing completely, which is probably the most stupid thing I've ever did in my life. Like I should just continue to box them. Because the winnings, like as an amateur, it doesn't actually matter how much you win or whatever. But when you're a kid, you want to win. It doesn't really hit home at all. So because like college, like I'm not boxing at all. And then one of my other boys called Jay Oldham was in MMA at the time as well. Like I think he had his first fight at Shocking as well. And I like remember at work I was watching that on my phone thinking, this looks like crazy. So I thought if I'm not boxing, let me just do something else still related to combat sports, but I've just lost all my boxing skills I picked up anyway, so it's still gonna translate. Not smoothly, but it was gonna make sense, innit? So I was Gym 1 first year college, and I think within like 8 months, I think I have a first fight. But always just because I'd boxed before, so it didn't take long for me to pick up the other skills on top of it, you know what I'm saying? So well, that's how I got into MMA.
And I think you just quickly touched upon like how much it affects you losing at that age. When you're young, I think it's when you take a loss, especially in combat sport. You're going back to what's like secondary school, people taking a piss out of you, and they're saying, "Oh, mate, you're not even good. Just quit." You know what I mean? So it will affect you, you know. And even though all your coaches are telling you at the time, "Oh, you'll go far," like if you're going back to school, like after the weekend you lost, and people were telling you, "Oh, you're not very good at this," then of course, you know what I mean. It's difficult for you to believe that. As a junior as well, it's harder as a kid to listen to someone. Do you know, if you are taking them.
I think everyone gets like different like motivation as well. Like I'm a very like results driven person. So it's like even if like, some people like get motivated by like the forces of like they can see themselves getting better like over months. Like I'm not, unfortunately I'm not the sort of person like I need to have like a win at the end to make me realise that okay, this all that stuff in the past was worth it. It's not probably not healthy like long term because you need to be able to realise that you are improving regardless over the time you are training. But I think I've always been just a result. Like, if I need something to cap off of the end for me to realize, okay, now I can progress something, you know what I'm saying? So, of course.
You're a winner.
Yeah, he's a champ.
I love that, though.
I was just going to say, like, building up to like the whole Adam Game fight, what were the feelings going into it? Because obviously you quickly touched upon like how records at amateur are not important. And they're not, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that go like 10-0, and there's some people that have got mixed records, but it all depends about like who you're fighting at the end of the day, and the level of the opponent. So I just wanted to know, of course, like your record was a bit of a mixed bag, but you had been fighting top level opponents. That's the truth. You know what I mean? So what was the feeling going into it? Did you think to yourself, look, I've got to win, like, or you know, did you think to yourself, did you have more of a level-headed approach about it, or did you genuinely believe you had to win?
I think because I took the most of that boxing anyway, I've always been like, okay, I've sort of got out of the way, so it's like I don't ever have the feeling of like I need to win this one anymore. Just because I've lost a lot of previous games, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of them ones where I would feel like going into the fight, if I don't win this, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Especially amateur as well, where I've realised like it doesn't actually mean much. Anyway, so it's like, regardless of what happens, as long as I'm sort of on the route to making that career, I'll be okay, you know what I'm saying? So I think because of the people that I've fought as well, in MMA especially, it's like the losses don't ever mean much to me anyway because I know how good they are. So like a lot of them from what GB talk too much, I know it's like a very good gym, especially flyweight, so there's so many out there. And then the other one was where I went up a weight as well. So it's like that made me realise like, okay, I'm a flyweight. Like, put it around because it's weight difference is too big. So but like MMA, especially the losses in MMA especially, they never like affected me too much. Just because I know
they never have.
They level of them and that's stuff there,
Exactly. And that's actually a very mature way to look at it because a lot of people are quite different, you know, it depends on like personnel. Like if few people take a few losses, all of a sudden, you know, you're not feeling that
Yeah,
great. And
yeah.
it does crush it. A loss in combat sport is crushing, you know?
Like,
Especially when, like yourself, you sold a lot of tickets and stuff, people come to watch you, and if you do take a loss, you're just thinking, oh, you know.
Yeah, downwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
And taking a loss with a crazy entrance.
Yeah.
I remember I was at the fight and then people were like, what is he doing? It's taking ages to come out. I was thinking, no, you're going to have to win. And then everyone's up. But that, just digesting again, but that entrance was crazy. Because obviously your name's Juju. Previously you've come out to that jailhouse because I've watched a few of the other fights. And like, you've always get the best out of a crowd. So coming out to the Chief Keef, that was crazy.
That was one of the coldest walkouts.
I might have to steal that for the charity.
It's good though. I feel like,
that was good.
when I was picking, I thought the build up's a bit long, but I thought like everyone's gonna get into it anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be walking up and down our back anyway. So
it was
crazy.
Because just before you walked out, everyone was thinking, "Oh, is he gonna walk out or what?" And we were just all there with you, like. Everyone was just waiting for you for ages. I think it was like a 2-minute intro.
Yeah, it's a long intro.
I had to restart my video.
I remember like walking up and down, like got a minute in, I was thinking in my head like, this is quite long. Because I was looking up behind my coach, and like he sort of looks at me, he's like, "We're gonna walk out." I was like, "Just wait, I'll walk out in a second." But I think the water was worth it. I feel like everyone enjoyed that walkout a lot more than all my other ones before.
It was well worth it. To be fair, you always have cold workouts, cold bias towards you. Because always I'm your friend, but I always think you always have quite good walkouts, definitely.
I feel like walkouts are important as well. Like a lot of people do come to watch your fights, and so you need to make it like worthwhile. The fight itself is obviously gonna sell itself anyway, but the walkout is a big part of the experience, especially when you sat like where you sit like front row almost.
Definitely,
Like you see me walk out to the cage. Like even for you as a spectator, it's a big
It's a big thing. And he walked out first, didn't he?
He walked out first.
So you made him wait. And
I made him think about that. Yeah, made him wait as well.
He must have got cold because, bro. Into cages.
That was long.
It was good. And just in terms of like the camp going into that fight, what was it like in terms of sparring?
It's probably been my best camp ever, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I think my other camp before I was very worried about weight, so I was always like sort of stressed about I want to span weight anyway, but I think I'm just very heavy, like regardless of where I am, so I could put on weight quickly. So last time I was definitely more stressed about I'm not gonna make weight in time. But this time I was like sort of trying to put it out of my head, but as long as I'm training and eating right, like I can't control anything more than that. So let me just focus on training itself. So like training wise, probably my best camp. Yeah, sparring went well, diet went well, came off quicker than the last ones at flyweight anyway, which is weird because in between that I started strength and conditioning properly. So I'm a bit bigger, quite a lot bigger than I was in my last flyweight anyway. So when I came off me, like 5 weeks all just started dropping off me like kg. I thought, okay, now this is I can tell I'm just a flyweight before I was just a fat bantamweight. So, but that was a very good camp, honestly.
Right, so it just dropped off
quickly. As soon as I took like carbs and fiber and sort out, it came off like real quick. So
And in terms of who helped you out, of course, it's Pipe Performance.
Those are my strong conditioning sponsors. And then Elliot, when he was here, was always a big part of that as well. He like offering diet advice and all that sort of stuff as well. And there's another guy called James Nickel Nutrition on Instagram who, like, whenever he makes the post, sort of like save it and like make a note of it as well, because he's like real knowledgeable as well. I know he's worked with other fighters in the country as well, but he's one of the best ones I've seen as well. Yeah, it's like super knowledgeable. So that takes the stress off me actually having to plan it out or like do the research myself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And then obviously now you're the flyweight champ. I feel like this is quite a. Would you say this is more of a national title or a regional title?
I feel like whenever anyone asks like to compare to boxing, it's hard because MMA just because the shows like the way the structure is so different. It's hard to actually like make a direct comparison. But like because Shock and Awe is in the south, it hasn't got as much exposure as like maybe a show up towards the middle where like anyone can sort of like come down. You know what I'm saying?
100.
But like I said before, like Adams fought really fight. He fought the number one amateur in the country for the last time, which was Gary Rooney. Again, like a tough fight. I think Gary said maybe his toughest fight yet. So I think for all MMA, like especially, you almost have to look at who's fought for the title itself and sort of like as like a national title.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? Just like sort of like gauge the level of who someone's beating to actually have the side itself. You know what I'm saying? So any show can like sort of pop up and like have a title for each way. But we also have to look at who they're actually fighting to tell like, this is like this is a good belt, not a good belt to have, but they beat someone good to get the belt.
For sure.
And it's not like sorry to so people, just to help me understand it. So it's not just people that are in England, because obviously I saw on the undercard there was like French flags.
Yeah, American, yeah. So especially more so for but like any like top amateur, you can get a lot of fights from like different neighbouring countries, like sort of come through and like fight you as well, because it comes to a certain point, like everyone on the top like 5 or 10 must be like matching different shows coming up. Because obviously we got like 6 to 8 week camps as well, so it's like when someone's got a match, it's like 2 people taking out the rankings anyway. So then you have to start looking for other people in different countries to sort of come through and then fight you as well. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's a good show for sure. But I guess what I wanted to ask as well was just obviously you understand the sport a lot more, but in terms of you've touched upon it on a few points. You said that obviously that Adam's fought, or someone's fought someone that's gone to pro.
Yeah.
Just help me understand sort of the process now and what the future looks like, but also what does it take for now you've got the championship. What's next? Is it like and what's that process of becoming a pro? Because I see, I hear about the other. I don't watch MMA like that, but I hear like Cage Warriors. Then they go into pro, and then like how what's that process look like?
Yeah, so I think for me, like personally, like I just wanna, as long as I feel, like I still feel like the gap between like the way I spar and like the way I fight. Like, obviously, Flair's seen me spar a lot, whatever. So I feel like it's still not like close enough for me. Like I feel like I spar like a lot better than I do when I fight with guys. So I feel like the second I can start like sort of closing up and like being like, I feel like fully comfortable in the cage, then I can be like, okay, now I have to have first shot. But I think even more so for me, it's just like I think Adam was a big win. Like mentally, it's like, okay, now I know I can sort of like truly like hang with like the top guys in the country, you know what I'm saying? So I think I want to like try and, as long as I can cement myself in the top like 10 or whatever, the next like 3, 4 fights, then I'll be like, okay, I'm comfortable enough to like want to sign up as well.
So it's just to understand it, so it's your decision, or
it's not that. It definitely be down to my coach. He like, because obviously he's an outside perspective, so he can tell truly whenever I'm ready or not. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy for me to say I'm ready, but you need someone, you need a coach like so look at you and be like, you need to like work on this, work on that before you're able to actually turn the professional up as well. Because there's no rush as well. I feel like amateur, you got a lot of freedom to like fight whoever, whenever. Like you don't have to really care about a match or anything like that, because your record gets wiped clean with yourself anyway. So nothing means much anyway. It's just about you developing as a fighter, try to sharpen the tools. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but whenever you do make a turnover, it's like you end up finding like these regional shows, like sort of build your record up, and then you can start to like, when you make a name for yourself, either through fighting or through socials, like a big promotion can contact you, then you go and sign a contract for them, and then go on to fight for them for a little bit as well, yeah.
And how far away do you believe you are from turning over?
I say, it depends how often I fight. I say in the next 2 years, I want to say, I'll probably get 4 or 5 fights in, and then I'll be like, okay, well, as long as they're at like a good level as well, and I'm like showing off my skill set truly, then I'll be like, okay, yeah, now I feel like I'm at a good enough level to turn over to professional, yeah.
Because you've had like 7 amateur bouts now in MMA?
9.
Oh,
6 in MMA and then 4 boxing. So
yeah.
Together,
So I just meant MMA, but so 6 in MMA at the moment. It's just so weird because in boxing,
I've had like 2 months, like a month.
Yeah, like 6 amateur bouts in boxing is not long, right? You know, you hear people have 150 amateur bouts, or like 80 to 90, and then they turn over. But it just goes to show like the difference as well between the sports, definitely, because like MMA and boxing are just completely different.
Yeah, I think the big thing is as well, like the build up between fights are like a lot longer, which also like MMA, like say Brian must be like you fight on this show, it'll be like 8 weeks out. So for like 8 weeks, I'm know I'm fighting on this day here. Whereas boxing, like you can turn up to like a Tuesday session, like you fight on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's like,
which is crazy.
And I think that's also a good thing. I think that's normal. I feel like MMA, they almost take like the full aspect of like combat sports, like implement it into like amateur.
Yeah,
like,
preparation.
It's long camp, it's like day before weigh-ins, like the foam and all that sort of stuff. But it's not like amateur boxing, like it's almost just like you fight so often, it doesn't mean much, you know what I'm saying?
And what you got to realise as well with amateur boxing, it's done in seasons. So you take the season off, it's like football. So you have the season off, you've got pre-season, and then you get them ready. And then when the season starts, you have to be ready to fight any time, realistically. So that's you.
So there's offside, that makes sense.
So that's the reason why you come in on a Tuesday, like Ozzy said, and then your coach saying, fight Saturday. So you got
Sunday as well,
yeah. And then you'll fight on Saturday, and then on Sunday you'll be sparring if you're alright, you know what I mean? Maybe, or you take the day off and then spar the following Tuesday or something like that. So
do you know your opponent as much as like
in boxing, I don't think it matters. I think you just got to be in
ready,
tip-top shape. You know? But in MMA, you know your opponent.
Yeah,
you know your
whereas-
opponent.
Like, you
seems
see
like
the
you
fights
study-
as well, you study them as
study
well,
the
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's more like
Yeah.
professional. It definitely gets used to like professional sort of like life of a fighter. I think like all the weight cut on the day before weigh-ins, knowing your opponent beforehand, like watching their fights, like people like watch their socials as well.
Yeah.
Because like in amateur boxing, like it's almost like you don't really care about who you're fighting because you don't know him for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All you know is you're gonna see him on the
Just focus on
weigh-in,
yourself
focus on
more
yourself
so.
a bit more. Yeah.
Like
I feel like there's definitely like merit in that as well. Like getting to fight, like competitively very frequently, you get so used to the feeling of like walking out and fighting. Like I feel like that's irreplaceable.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
the second you turn pro, like if you're not used to certain things, like now seeing for records and like things like that, like now it means like it's gonna actually like affect your career. Because like where we do amateur, no one really cares the second you turn pro anyway, unless like someone's studying or like a fan's like looking at your record like, oh, how do you do when you use an amateur? But aside from that, like what doesn't actually matter that much. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And how does your family, like on a separate note, how does your family sort of think about you
Like fighting,
competing? Yeah.
Like my mum was like a big. I feel like she likes me doing it, but like watching it is like a different case altogether. Like she'll never ever like go to a show and actually watch me.
Because bro, even like us watching you, you know,
Yeah,
bro, I'm telling you guys,
watching them was
it
crazy.
feels like I'm in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like it's worse watching than actually fighting.
Yeah. I feel like you're not in control, innit? Like
Yeah.
whenever you're fighting or I'm fighting, it's like you know what you're gonna do in there, so you can almost like take the pressure off. But like when I'm watching you, like even you at the shy fight as well, it's like thinking like shit. Like, what's gonna do? Like what's gonna happen? Yeah. It's like you're watching the game, like you can't control. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, it's
mad.
crazy. But why is it like that? It's so weird.
It is weird. Like, honestly, I think it's just because you're not in control, and like you're always gonna feel more empathy for someone else than you are for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if I watch you, any of you should get hurt in there, like it's horrible.
It hurts.
If I get hurt, it's like you know you're gonna be alright. You know what I'm saying?
It does. Because obviously, like, you just touched upon like why your mum doesn't like doing it. Because
Yeah.
I never understood. Like, I remember when I had my first battle,
Yeah.
and my mum didn't want to go watch
At
it.
all.
And I was like, why
Why?
would you not want to watch it? And then she was like, no, I haven't got the heart for it. But I
Yeah.
didn't understand
Yeah.
until
You
I
were
started
seeing
watching
boys.
other people
Yeah.
that I'm close to fight.
Mm.
And then I was like,
You really get into it.
Yeah.
Even watching Ozzy, you're like,
even watching you, bro, yeah.
It's like on your fight, like feels like almost like leaving for the thing as well, mate. Trying to get in there.
nah, kill me.
It's like, but it must be the same for you, like, say if Ajay ever wants to actually box.
Yeah.
Like, would you feel
Oh,
comfortable
100%.
watching? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I think after like watching you and
Yeah.
like, some other people that I'm close to, like Sam, like, I think to watch like,
See,
my,
yeah,
essentially my sister
See what I'm
box,
saying?
bro, no, I don't think I can do it. You know, it's
It's
crazy.
easy to say until like you actually watch someone you care about.
It is.
And,
Like,
yeah.
it is
So your
good.
mum's never watched you?
she watches me like my little Seiki will always like set up like the live streams, like
Oh, okay,
specifically
nice.
watching.
Okay.
I remember like
In
in this
person.
fight, especially she said like the second. I don't think she saw any of my celebration after the fight. The second like the shot went on and like he passed out, she like turned over.
Oh,
It's like French. She
wow.
didn't even get to watch actually the celebration itself. So
Wow.
she was just relieved that I like won and I was saved. So I was like, she's like, okay, that's enough.
And then you called her after.
I called her
Yeah,
out, yeah, just to make sure like, okay, I'm fine. I'll go and like see you in an hour when I want to get home. But yeah, no.
Yeah, that's.
It's crazy because like they're going through that every single time that you
Yeah,
like,
it's almost worse for them just because it's your son at the end of the fight as well. Yeah.
bro.
And then there's another point on that because obviously, like I said, Fadel, for example, like, I was just watching the whole. Like, you know, I paused for a minute when you won, you choked the guy out,
Yeah,
jumped
yeah,
on the stage, you're dancing. I was watching. Everyone was like in slow motion.
Reactions,
But
yeah.
then for a minute, I was like, wow, we've obviously everyone's going crazy, jumping
yeah.
on the seats,
Yeah.
and obviously the opponent's family and friends are there. I'm thinking, wow. But then someone's like,
Two sides of the
it's
coin.
two sides of it because
Yeah.
you'd rather, which sounds very bad, but you'd rather him than us.
Of
you know
course,
what I mean?
yeah, but
Because it's two sides of it. But you just get caught into it. You're thinking, wow,
Yeah.
this is.
And that's something I always, to be fair, I always try and like look at that whenever I'm at amateur shows. Like if I'm not fighting myself, like whenever I'm watching someone else fight, I always like see like what it's like for other persons, like family or even the other opponent itself. It's like someone's like on the cage like screaming, like everyone's laughing, and on the other side like someone's just like waking up or someone's like angry lost. Like
Yeah.
it's very brutal in that sense. Like the two sides of the coin, like
Yeah.
how someone's feeling before and after. It's
But it is what it is.
No, it's what it is.
I'd rather be on the winning side. Do you know what I mean? Like, and you know, everyone knows that once they get involved in the sport and they
Yeah.
start, you know, competing,
Part and
then
parcel
it's
of it.
just part of the sport.
And that's what I said about to Fadel as well when he fought, and even when you fight. Like, the great thing about fighters is after they fight, everyone's so respectful. You know?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, sometimes obviously it's with professionals and everything as well. Like the
Yeah.
crowd ruin it. Sometimes they get into fights and stuff.
Yeah.
But as actual fighters, you respect the opponent, you respect their family. Like you said, obviously, even your mum praying for the opponent, praying for your safety as well. It's just a nice element of it. So at the end of it, it's just a fight.
Yeah, so I feel like even if there's animosity beforehand or like tension beforehand, so that's such a weight off your shoulders. Like you have fought now, you don't really care about any of that sort of stuff anyway. Like you see it like in amateur, like UFC, whenever like it's a tense way, and like we almost always like shake hands or like hug after because like we're done now. Like, like it's crazy stressful. So it's like
I never used to understand that.
Yeah, the second you finish, like flipping out, we're done. Just hug out, whatever. Like you're done now, so you can come, you can chill out. But yeah, it is. And no matter animosity, I feel like everyone was sort of like it's a big relief to just be like, okay, what it is now.
Yeah. And just on a separate note, in terms of like confidence, combat sports actually like giving you just in life in general. Yeah. What would you say that is like? You know.
Yeah, probably the biggest benefit like for anyone like looking into getting into like any sort of combat sport. That's always been my biggest like takeaway from it. Like, I've never really cared about like fitness, like how it looks, like aesthetic, anything like that. For me, it's like confidence is always the biggest thing. Like I feel like any sort of like, not sound like cocky, but any sort of like situation that like happens in life, like you always feel comfortable now, knowing that if anything goes left, like you're gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? There's someone else like a crazy fighter, like which is rare. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a big thing, like knowing like anything like bad happens in life, like wherever you go in life, wherever you carry yourself, wherever, like knowing you can handle yourself if anything goes bad, it's such a massive thing on your psychological life. It's important, I think.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realise how much effort it like takes to go through just camp sparring and stuff like that alone, you know? Like there's some really, really low moments I'm sure that you've been through, not just this camp, like previous camps, you know? And there's obviously highs to highs, of course, as well, you know what I mean? So you can actually take that and take that into anything, in any like walk of life, you know? Because that's transferable, you know? So yeah, it's just really important to highlight, I guess. So.
For sure. You said that the mental aspect, just understanding it. Has there been a moment where you thought, like in camp, where you thought, this is just, I want to give up?
Well, his opponents are listening. You
wait. No, it's not weakness, but I meant like, or even in a previous fight, or like after a loss, there be a point where you're like, I want to give up, because it's happened with everyone. Remember, we spoke to an Olympic medalist, gold medalist. She said she wanted to quit before winning a gold medal. Mikey said there was points where in his boxing career he thought, this is difficult. So it'd be great to understand that.
Yeah, I think definitely. It's the most like anger I've been like most like thinking like what's the point? I fought a guy called Delphi from GB Top Team, I think last November. And like that was, I feel like I was not winning the fight, but it was a very close fight company. I thought, okay, this is like I can win this at the end of it. Like I made some like stupid mistake, like the last like 20 seconds of the fight maybe, and I got like tapped out. I felt like flipping hell like that. My head was like spinning after that. Because I think like go from like 6-3 count, the whole fight itself lasts like what? 6 minutes, 8 minutes, come to the end of it thinking, you can still finally see the win at the end.
And goal,
To make me say that was like the first time I've been like proper angry. Like any other loss I've had before, I've been able to like look at him and like, okay, like you can sort of like pick apart like what he did wrong, like okay, I can improve with this. But that one for me, the fight was going well up until that last like 20 seconds. That's the first time I've been like, I think Phil called me like after as well. Like, I couldn't even like speak on the phone. Like, I'm not angry, like I think everyone knows that. I don't get angry like outside of life, regardless. Like at that time I was like, that was mad. I didn't really feel like I was gonna quit after or anything like that, but it's definitely the most angry I've been like straight after, immediately after.
I'd say you're one of the most like level-headed people I know in terms of combat sport. I feel like you could definitely see both sides. You understand why something's happening. You can accept and just move on, which is actually a very, very like good skills to have in combat sport. You know? I feel like if you're far too like left on one way, you know, like it doesn't really work out. And if you're far too right on the other way, and you get too worked up about stuff, you know, it doesn't really work out. I think you're pretty much bang on in the middle, you know, in terms of how you handle yourself and like, so it's professionalism at the end of the day, isn't it? Like being able to understand that, you know what, take it as it is and can accept it and move on. We move, man, we move. But of course, But Ozzy, bro, flip it out. You are the flyweight champ. It's just crazy. Honestly, when they strapped you up, bro, I was just, I looked up at the screen and I thought I was dreaming. But I looked to Sam, I actually wanted to run into him. The security guard. The security guard stopped me from running over to you.
Because like there's a video of like Chris recording on the phone, like I think as I tried to get Chris on, everyone sort of like pauses, like it's almost like you did a pin drop, like it was silent. Like second, the referee taps my gap, everyone's like screaming, just throwing like flies out his hand. Like that's
I
what
don't
my
know what to do.
favourite
In that moment for you, like
Yeah.
how, just talk us through how that.
Because I think, yeah, like I said before, like the whole 6 weeks, whatever, like I was sort of preparing myself for like my hardest fight, like thinking it's gonna be like a 9-minute like scrap. Because he's very, very, very good. So I think for it to end like the way it did, like how quick it was, I was almost like thinking like,
This is
it's
real.
like,
This is
you know what I'm saying?
real,
Because
yeah.
like I've done the whole 6-week camp, the whole weight cut, which is disgusting by itself anyway.
Yeah.
Just for it to end like a minute and a half. There's like,
'Cause
you
you
obviously
prep-
see like hold my hands up like,
Yeah.
is that?
Because in your head, you've obviously prepped how the fight will go. Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
And
saying?
then-
Yeah, so for it to end like that, it's almost like, yeah, literally, in my head, I was thinking, is that it? Now I'm done, you know what I'm saying? It's mad, honestly, yeah.
Honestly, even when they just like strapped you up, you looked up at the screen like yourself. I could just tell you was looking around thinking, wow,
Yeah,
this
man,
is
it's crazy.
this is-
honestly.
yeah.
So,
But the thing is, it don't stop there, man. Onto bigger and better
Yes, of
things,
course, yeah.
and that'll be a UFC strap soon, won't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Now,
mean?
but now at the end of it, he's going to the UFC. He said, Sam, you think I'm joking? He's going to take it. I'm not even playing.
it was honestly great.
But even just after it, like just walking through, like you had like an entourage, all your boys were there. Entourage, about 15, 20 people behind you, walking through the whole arena.
Yeah, I think that's
Kids coming to take pictures with you. Everyone
funny.
wanted to hold the belt. That's,
Yeah.
bro,
that's up there, like makes it like, even when itself is always like nice, but like when you walk, I feel like it's always better like when you see your friends after. Like you know when you're in the fight, it's like you're on top of the world. But
Yeah.
when you see like friends straight after, like any of the boys after, like you think, yeah, this is mad.
You're the man. You're You're cloud nine. You're the security. Yeah, you're the VIP. I was just walking out the stairs. You're the boy. You're him.
It's crazy.
Like I said, honestly, possible sports like is one of the maddest things we've ever felt. Yeah.
Nah, but bro, honestly, on a serious note, congratulations, man.
Nah, thank
Just
you.
testament
Big
of all
up.
your hard work, you know what I mean? And you just being able to grind through it all, man. Nah, you should be real proud of yourself, man. I'm so proud of you. And, mate, on to bigger and better things. Don't stop here. And, great example for young and upcoming like fighters going, because obviously your journey's still going, but, mate, a lot of people can take a lot from what you do at the moment. So, bro,
Yeah, for sure.
we keep it
No,
moving.
that's great. Like you've obviously got a great future ahead. I've got 2 questions before obviously we close off into a quick fire as we always do. The first one is sort of essentially what's next and where do you see yourself? Obviously you touched upon it a little bit throughout. And then the second one is just any tips and advice you'd give anyone in combat sport or anyone in life in general. So
Yeah, so to be fair, there's other titles in the country as well which I'm trying to get my hands on. Like I know the UKFC one, a lot of the good flyweights fight on that one there, but that's a good, always like probably one of the best amateur titles to have just because of how many people fight on the actual show itself. So I ideally like to get that one. And yeah, as long as I'm fighting, for me it's like as long as I'm fighting people that are good enough level, I know like this is like it's worth 6 weeks of my life to like dedicate and like get a good experience out of it as well. Like I don't want to just fight like anyone. Like I want to fight someone who I know is like gonna actually like challenge me.
that's true.
I like challenge something like a certain like aspect of my skill set. Like I remember like, oh, this guy's crazy good wrestler or his jiu-jitsu's just like mad. Just so I know I'm actually like, so whenever I do jump for, I'm not gonna get found out because I've already been found out before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to front like have anything be a shock. Like, I think I haven't actually been like rocked hard, like dropped or like been like a tight submission. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
any sort of like fight where I can like almost be like worried, like scared, like thinking, oh, this is gonna be a tough one. That'd be the best one for me.
Essentially throw yourself in the deep end.
Essentially, yeah.
But
But that's crazy though, because a lot of people wouldn't have that answer. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's actually trying to chase challenges, if that makes sense, which is, bro, it just goes to show, like, testament to your character.
And ambition as well.
Yeah, man. Because a lot of people stat pad their records, you know?
Yeah, I think that sort of stuff like up for like you see a lot of people doing that for it makes sense because that is your career now. If you do need to build off a profile almost like whether it's like highlight or knockout, so like you talking to Mike after wins, like it's probably like cross boxing and amateur and MMA, you will see like a lot of folks like build themselves up, which that's not, you can't knock it, it's just part of the sport. It has been part of the sport for like years, so you just have to do it as a professional. But amateur doesn't really make sense because when you turn pro anyway, you work as a white card.
Oh, okay. So you're not essentially picking your fights.
No, amateur,
Oh,
it just doesn't make sense because you can go turn pro anyway and then now you've got a new record, so all the fights you pick before don't make anything. So it doesn't really make sense, but yeah.
No, I love that. And then, sorry, the second question. Just any tips and advice you'd give for combat? It could be someone in combat or anyone in life in general.
Yeah, I say combat specifically, like persistence is a big thing. Like no matter if you're losing or how the fights are going, like you do need to be able to like realize that like you're still an amateur. Like it doesn't actually matter how the fights are going. Like, come to a certain point in like your career work, like you'll be like, oh, okay, all the losses were worth it because you've reached like whether it's professional work, you've been like a crazy good prospect for whatever.
Yeah.
Like you realize that all the like trials and tribulations in the past, like fights beforehand, they were all actually worth it. But it's like if you like choosing and thinking like amateur fights, like you'll eventually, in my opinion, always get found out. You're gonna come up against someone who's actually been fighting like killers constantly. Whether losing or winning, like they have something in them. Like they've been like through hell to like win fights and that sort of stuff. Where as if you're like walking through it, like killing everyone, and, like getting crazy knockouts or whatever. Like it comes to a point where you fight someone legit, and it's like okay now, unfortunately it means something now. Now what? You know what I'm saying? So that's what's about. Yeah.
Wow. For me, it's never a loss. It's always a lesson. For sure. But nah, I love that bit of advice as well.
Yeah. And just quickly before we go into the 5 questions, of course, coaches always say, don't they, like experience, like it doesn't matter if you win or lose, it's all about the experience. And sometimes when you're taking a loss after loss after loss, you're thinking, like, what experience is this? You know what I mean? Maybe I'm just losing. I'm to lose. But obviously, you coming off of that win and you having a mixed records against killers, do you know what I mean? Like, I think you finally understand now.
Yeah, I think Ivan like told me like I think Outback was like, oh, that's like almost like hammering home, like trying to hammer home like this is why you need to fight these sort of people.
Yeah.
Comes to a certain point where now like you've almost like leveled up and like caught up and like it's like a big point where you like realize this is how good I actually am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't really get that at all unless you fight these good high level amateurs in the country.
100%, bro, 100%. But yeah, Ozzy, we'll round that off.
Yeah.
And we'll go into the quick fire questions, eh?
Are you ready, mate?
Yeah, man.
Preparation.
Yeah, come on, bro.
One at a time on.
Nah,
Take your time.
Yeah, take your time, bro. It's all right.
It's all good.
Right, first one. Favourite boxer or mixed martial artist of all time?
I'd say Floyd Mayweather.
Okay.
Very slick. Toughest sparring partner?
Ooh, I say Elliot. Elliot's always giving me a hard time sparring.
Not me. That's crazy.
Toughest
Toughest yeah, what the heck? Toughest opponent you've ever had?
What's one of that? That's a hard one. I say Delphi was harder physically because he's very similar to me. He's very like stocky and strong. For another guy from Belgium called Samuel Welch, and I think he's my hardest fighter. Just because he's very, like his skill set and mine, like I think, just the way the fight turned out, like he was in the whole fight, so it was always like a mental thing. Like, what's he doing next? Like his scrambles were good, his striking was good.
It was a good battle, wasn't it?
I'm saying it's very good battle.
Skills wise, it was
exactly.
It was
that was probably my hardest fight. Yeah.
Cool. The most impressive knockout you've ever seen?
Ooh.
This is TV. This is not just live, by the way. Even on TV.
I think live, I saw a guy called Lewis Mugina knock out another guy called Charlie Falco. Like straight right hand, like dropped cold. Like that was the first one I seen. Like, oh, okay, that's pretty scary. Yeah, you've seen the knockout. I was like, yeah, it's pretty scary. Yeah, bro. You watch it after. Yeah, that's the match I want to see live. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. What's the weirdest thing that's ever happened to you in a fight?
Weirdest thing?
Yeah, like the strangest thing.
Okay, I say in my second amateur MMA fight, I think my glove got like stuck. From you was like the way like behind my back, and like for maybe like a minute and a half I just like sat there. I went home, my coach like screaming like put down, I was thinking there tugging like and this shit ain't moving. Like, yeah. That's the weirdest thing because even like I watch it back now, I'm trying to like figure out how I got there, like what happened. But I can't really replicate what happened in my head, like inspired or whatever. It's like just a weird one. Yeah.
You try it after that?
I'm like, sorry, honestly, I swear I watch it, but it's just weird. Yeah, crazy also.
Best fight you've ever watched live?
Best fight was like.
Yeah.
I say.
Don't forget I did fight Charlie Bell.
I
definitely want that one. I say one Elliot who fought Shaj for the Almighty title. Okay.
Not necessarily like the fight itself, but because I knew how much it meant to him for his career. Like that's the first time I saw like Sack Cage for a fight.
Yeah.
So that was like the experience itself was mad. Like it was like I've been in there like watching as a fan. But being there like cage side, like next to the coach, is like seeing it like from up close. Yeah, that's really the best.
Yeah.
Best experience. But yeah, sure.
Wow, a solid experience. Mate, I know you like your food, bro. I know you like your food. Yeah, so what's your favourite cheat meal?
Cheat meal changes. I feel like recently it's been pastry. Like any sort of like croissant. Like
I love food, bro.
Yeah, I mean Amsterdam was so down the whole time I was just like eating. I was just eating the whole time. But yeah, pastry.
I'm actually surprised Ozzy makes flour. The way this guy loves food is crazy. But yeah. So So if you weren't a fighter, what line of work would you do?
I'll probably just use my degree, any sort of computer science job.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for now, to be fair, yeah. Until I can like actually like make some actual money off fighting. Like, but in the future, yeah, computer science, yeah. Sure.
This guy, a man of many talents.
Computer science, yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like I knew that, but that's,
Well, you obviously didn't.
but that's not. No, I felt like it was something technical. I just never thought of it because obviously we've never had that conversation. Yeah. Never thought you'd be into. Cause I know you're a game actually. I had that.
Like computer science, I graduated 2 months ago now, so yeah. I think I'm always like hesitant to like
I love that,
go
bro.
and take a full-time job, but it needs to be done anyway. So,
That's sick. And you graduated last year, didn't you?
This is like 2 months
Oh,
ago.
shit. Look at this guy.
So, like, yeah, job done, for sure.
To be fair, I think you lightly touched upon this one, but any advice for those chasing their dreams like yourself?
Yeah, I probably what I said before about persistence, like regardless of results and all that sort of stuff as well. Like, you know, in the end it'll be worth it. It's such a big thing,
Persistency is key, Ozzy Jatta.
I love that. And as Fadel always says a weird saying, records are for DJs.
Records are for DJs.
He said it, I was like, what?
It's true though, isn't it? If you're a young amateur fighter out there and you're chasing your dreams, don't worry about your record. If you're worrying about your record, then at the end of the day, you're worrying about the wrong things. Just worry about getting as much experience as possible.
Like the record, like it's a big thing. You always like care when anyone like thinks, we always like really say whatever when anyone like asks or whatever. But like you said, like whenever I'm there, if you lost and I've lost, like when you speak out to your friends after, like you realize I don't really care when I lose. Like they don't have to watch you as a fighter, like as your friend to support you and all that sort of stuff as well. So it's not that deep, honestly.
It's not. But yeah, that rounds off the quick fire questions. Ozzy, it's been a pleasure, my brother. And congratulations again on the flyweight champ.
Just look at that. Just take a minute.
Beautiful.
What dreams are made of? Nah, Mr. Juju Jatta. Nah, it's been a pleasure, man. Thanks for jumping on. I guess, rounds it off.
We've been Southway. Peace out.
Thank you.
Sweet one,
Well,
bro. Sweet one.
I was like,
Yeah, that's good, man.
God, good.
Yeah.